What's this high? 18, 1975.
18-0-1975. So what's that about the daily?
Yeah, that's off the daily.
Gotcha. So you guys going, all right, from 18-0-84 to 18-0-19. All right. What about what are some things that you'll be looking for in order to get there?
Let me drop down. Um, I mean, right now it's kind of already making that push because it rejected off the previous week high. It did that like around 3 this morning, 2, 3 this morning. So initially, that's what I would have been looking for to see if it's going to start making that move. So it's already starting to do that. And at this point, I'll be waiting to see if it's going to break the low. Uh,
Okay.
at this point, I'll start to kind of either maybe catch some of it if I'm scalping or wait to see if it starts to fill that fair value gap that happened yesterday around 9. Yeah, around 9.
I won't be in denial for it coming down to that 18 to 19. I will say that it came close, and uh, it was about 51 ticks away. No, sorry, it was 39 ticks. It was 39 ticks away from hitting that. And right now we are 277 ticks away. So I will focus on me personally right now. Um, I'm not going to ignore those 39 ticks, but there was a reason why we didn't hit those either, too, right? So I'm not going to, me personally, I'm not going to allow 39 ticks to ignore the 277 ticks that we've gone up with this nice
Mm-hmm.
move down already. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Um, I wanted us to hit it last night, first thing, but it did not. So right now, still think that Price is trying to aim for this right here, 18,115.50. I still think that's what Price is trying to hit. Um, and we look at where we currently are right now in relationship to the 1819. This is again 276 ticks away from hitting that. And then we are 106 ticks from hitting this target. So being that this is the closest one to us, right? There's an hour left, and I think within this hour, we will hit 18,115.50. So it's an hour left for this 4-hour candle to close. And I think within this hour, we're going to hit that go up. So that's the direction we see this candle closed here. And if I wanted to do a sale, if I wanted to do a sale, then that would be where I would think if it's going to drop, that would be where it would drop to hit that if that was going to happen. Um, Now, off of everything that's happened so far, we have got, I didn't mean to do that. We had an entry last night at like 3. Um, I was up when this candle was going towards there, but I was aware that this was a selling opportunity, right? So this was a selling opportunity. It came and filled all the gaps that pretty much it created on the way up. So there's no more fair value gaps down here, right, on this 1 hour. except for this, right, all the way down here. But I don't think we're going all the way down there. But all this has been filled. So the only thing that's left now is this fair value gap right here, right? And as I look at these two fair value gaps, I see 1, 2 candles failed to hit 50%, right? Well, they hit 50%, but they failed to close above there. So there's something inside of here that price may be trying to aim to hit, right? And we look at this on the 15-minute, what could be down here. The price is trying to aim to grab. Don't see anything on the 15-minute. We have another small fair value gap off the 5-minute. That price respected. This is kind of like the channel right there. Between both 50% levels, this is kind of like what we are trapped in between right now, where that's why it's consolidating, right? Because we got both of these fair value gaps that price is playing in between now. But let's go back to the 15-minute for a second. And let's just look at the entries and continuations for calls so far, right? So when I looked at where current price is, I'm just following this red line. You know, we are in between here. This was the last entry, right? Or in between this little area right here. Or this was a call spot. And this would have been your stop loss. Obviously, price hit that stop loss when it came down there earlier. But this is where we're in between right now. It's kind of like finding a little bit of support. Just paying attention to that. Let me go back to the 1 hour. See if I can see anything. Boom. I'll use this one. All right. So this was an entry 2. This was a stop loss. Price has already done a lot of damage. And then it closed inside of there. Next candle. Remember, when price closes in between your entry and your stop loss, as it did here, what is our entry? Anyone?
At your stop loss.
Stop loss. So you see why the green candle's low was our stop loss, right? That would have been our entry once we realized that this candle closed in between here. And obviously, if this was my entry, I would have been targeting for price to fill this fair value gap. However, price has now come back to 50% of that fair value gap and got rejected. So that's something that I'm watching right now. Looking at these two lines, and then since this was the selling candle right here, if I draw my trend-based fib extensions, and I look at what we hit the 2.618, then that want to go to the 3.618. And now we're back at the 1.618. So I do not have an entry for calls right now off the hour, nor do I have an entry for sales. I don't have an entry for the calls or sales on the 15 minutes. So I'm not doing anything right now because this could be, I like to see this sometimes where price does do this. And this is why I don't want to look at the buy right here. I know that I want to try to force the sell right now, right? But I'm not going to ignore if price is doing this, right? Price will
Hey,
give
TJ.
me a sign that it wants to do this. Yes.
Real quick, not nothing major, but I know you drew the fair value gaps off of different time frames. Real quick, if you could, or make it a little bit easier, if you want to add the text, like when you click on the box, you go to the text, you can note which one is which. Like you'll put the 1 hour FVG and then you'll put 5 minute FVG on the other one. That way we know which one is which for people who might
Gotcha.
jump in later.
Gotcha. So this is the 5 minute. So I got a 1 hour fair value gap right there. I got a 5 minute fair value gap right here. I delete some of these lines because I'm not going to use them right now. And just clean up some of my charts. The only two lines I want to have on my screen right now are the previous close candle, right? Which is here. Actually, I had this and this. So this was, if you notice right now, this was your entry for sales, and this was your stop loss for sales. But the 845 candle closed above the entry. And when the candle closes in between my entry and my stop loss for a specific direction, I'm looking for price to come back up to that stop loss. So I am going to mark off this candle right here. The high and the low, I'm marking it off to see where this candle closes at. But I am expecting for price to come back up to that blue line right there. Me personally, I wanted to see price hit these levels today. So based off of yesterday's candle, I noticed that blue line that I drew where I said price should come back up to is the high of yesterday, by the way. Um, I personally was trying to get price to go to 18,284.75. We are above the 0.618 here. And so I personally want to see price go towards 284.75 today. do have a lot of volume right here though at this level. The EMAs and the VWAP are kind of like pointing down right now. So I'm paying attention to that on the 15 minute at least. On the 1 hour, you know what? Let me separate these. Is anyone trading options today? Are we all trading futures? Michelle, are you trading options or futures?
Futures today.
Okay. What about you, Doug? You on the road or you trading options? Okay. Now, I won't be trading anything greater than one contract of NQ. So if I don't like what NQ is giving me, I will switch down to MNQ. And I won't be starting off with like max position. I would like add to my position. But I'm not just going to start off with a couple contracts of NQ on my first entry or stop loss whatsoever. Like just because I can shoot from the half court line don't mean that it's always wise to shoot from the half court line. Sometimes just getting that little layup that adds points to the board. So we didn't close on the 15 minute. So now I'm going to mark everyone mark the high and the low of the 9 o'clock candle. If you mark the high and the low of the 9 o'clock candle, it's easy to see when another candle decides to close higher, lower, or inside. And then you'll be prepared because you already know what the two numbers are. So if we closed higher, then obviously 91.25 is going to become our entry, and 81.25 is going to be our stop loss. If it closes lower, then 91.25 would be our stop loss, and 81.25 would be our entry. If it closes inside, well, we wait another 15 more minutes. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yep. Yeah, it does.
So I'm already prepared for my entry and my stop loss, depending on where this candle closes. Like I said, I want to see price get to 18,110, right? Because obviously this 845 candle closed in between my entry and stop loss, but I do not have an entry yet to play to 18,110.50. Yesterday, this happened, and we got our entry at 8:30 in the morning, and then it shot off like a bat out of hell, right? That big move up yesterday. That was 8:30 was here, right? So, price had closed in between the entry and stop loss, and then it shot up. We also have news at 10 o'clock. We got PMI and consumer sentiment. And a few Fed members speaking through the day. Appreciate that, Doug. So market opens up in 10 minutes. There will be a slight gap from where price currently is right now. Right, this is where price is currently, and where the market closed at yesterday. Right, so want to be aware of where that is. It's around 18,062.25. right? There will be a slight gap. I just have this green line because that's where the market closed at yesterday. So there's about an 80 tick difference. Well, $30. So it's about 120 ticks difference right now. I'm just going to mark these right now just because we are trading above it. That way, the price action decides to close above here, right? If price action decides to close above this entry, then that would be my entry and my stop loss. My stop loss will protect me enough so that if price does decide to go towards the gap of yesterday's close, I don't lose too much money, right? But let's put this in perspective now, right? Let's put this in perspective. If someone took this for a call or a sale, right? Let's just say we did a limit order at 18091.25, right? And your stop loss is 18081.25. How much money are we risking on that trade?
200.
Whether it's a call or a sale, with one contract of NQ.
200.
Do y'all see how much it is?
I said 200, TJ.
$200. If I went to 2 contracts, it is now 400. 3 contracts, 600. 4 contracts, 800. 5 contracts, 1,000. Right? So this is why say if you start off the gate with a lot of contracts, right? We don't know if this is going to be correct or not, right? If you start off the gate with a lot of contracts, you're assuming that it won't hit your stop loss. And if it hits your stop loss, you've already given the market way too much money right off the bat. Right? If I went to, let's just say we go to MNQ, right? Say I only want to lose $300 a day, right? I only want to lose $300 a day. I go to MNQ and I just do 2 contracts with MNQ, right? So limit order 1891.25 and stop loss 18081.25. Now, how much am I risking on that trade?
40 bucks.
Only 40 bucks, right? 40 bucks is so much better losing than me trying to lose $200. Right? And I think sometimes this could be an issue because we put profits over capital preservation instead of capital preservation over profits. We think this is going to take too long to build. But honestly, we blow so many accounts with the NQ that it takes us just as long as it would have if we was trading MNQ. Isn't that crazy when you think about it?
Yeah.
It's probably really hard to blow an account if you're only losing $40 at a time. But if we're losing, $200 to $1,000 every single day, and we're not going nowhere. We're just in a stand. Even if we pass the funded account, right? Even if we pass the evaluation, it doesn't matter if we blow the funded account right then again. So those are some of the things that I'm thinking about, as I trade, and why I like trading that MNQ a lot more than I like trading the NQ. Because even if it's taking me a while to grow the account, in January, other than maybe twice, I traded only MNQ and I still made $10,000 in January. I didn't follow that much well in February, I didn't make as much money in February. But in January, I did only MNQ and brought the account every single day I was showing y'all from 10,000 to 20K. Only trading MNQ. So $10,000 a month trading nothing but MNQ. That's not a bad gig for 120K a year. And yes, some days you might only get a couple $100, but it only takes a couple $100 to make 100K a year. So those are just things to think about. So I am starting with one contract of NQ. And that trade right now, I would be risking $200. If I lose on this trade, I am not trading NQ for the rest of the day. But now I'll be at a $200 loss. I will already be at a $200 loss off the first trade of the day. Because I don't want to be at a $200 loss at the first trade of the day, guess what? I'm not even going to trade NQ off the first trade. I go right to MNQ. I'm not giving the market $200, not off the bat. So it looks like this may close higher. Because it may close higher, I am going to go to limit order, and I'm going to place in my targets now. So 91.50, stop loss 81.25. Right, so I'm risking $41 on this. I'm risking $41, and I'm going to hit buy as long as this candle closes higher than 91.50 in 15 seconds. I'm going to assume that that's where it's going to go, and I placed my limit order. So I was already looking for a price because this hit this. I was already looking for a price to come to here, if y'all remember. Right? I was already looking for a price to come to 18,110, all because this candle closed inside of my sell entry and stop loss. And that's exactly what it did. It didn't give me my entry, right? But I was already looking for a price to hit this. Do y'all remember that? So it went straight up. We did not even come towards this gap yet. This is the entry for the sales earlier. This was the entry and stop loss right there. That's why I have that here. 18,110 becomes, so when price comes here, that was your entry for a sale. 18,110.75, by the way. I'm not taking a sell, but I'm aware of my rules that when the candle closes in between your entry and your stop loss becomes your sell. But I want to see price go higher. I personally am trying to see price go as high as this once again to my 1.618. That brings us to about 283.75. That's where I'm trying to see price come to. Now, with this big push, we are around all-time highs again, right? Where we took out this high earlier. We made an all-time high. If this keeps pushing, breakout traders are going to come into this play. And it's going to add volume, right? We look at where we got right now. It's going to add volume into here. So it hit the entry once again for sales. I'm not taking that. Not today. I honestly think price is going to go stupid and it's going to be just like straight calls all day. That's what I believe. So this was the entry earlier. Our price closed lower than there. It came up, gave you this entry, and then boom, sales came down. So here we are again. Once again, back at that same exact entry gave us last time. But I want to see price like break through the stop loss. I gave out QQQ calls yesterday at 437 to hit 443. QQQ right now is at probably around 440. Yep, it's at 441 right now. So I was trying to get QQQ to hit about 443 today. We had a nice long debate yesterday about price going up versus price going down yesterday. I was very much bullish. Remember that, Roy? So I'm going to cancel this order right now because it's probably not going to get hit. It's very close to hitting that, but I was looking for price to take off as it did. Missed out on that. That's fine. I did not take this sale entry, right? I did not take it. I know this is a sell entry. This is a sell stop loss, but I did not want to take it. And I am going to mark this fair value gap here. I think this is important. We came up into that fair value gap, couldn't even get to 50%. A lot of volume just came in, by the way. These EMAs. We go back to here. So the account has not closed it. If I had taken this entry for sale, I would have saw some green, right? About at least $10 to $15 worth. So, between 40 to 60 ticks, I would have saw, but I don't know if I would have paid myself. And although I have not got my entry yet, I'm still very much bullish for the day. For the Qs to try to hit 443 and for my NQ to hit that 280 something level. Just waiting to see if price will give me an entry so I can do what I plan to do from the beginning of the day. Just go back to the Qs real quick. Probably around 441 right now. 440.67. So with the level that I'm giving you guys, right? 437 was the entry I gave yesterday. But we look at where we are, on the Qs, right? 443.22 is where I got price going to today. I was waiting for an entry, right? And you look at the Qs, the entry would have been here at 439.75. It did not give it to us. So we got 4 minutes and 40 seconds for this candle close. The next entry would be 439.93. Price has not given it to us yet, right? So I don't have an entry to play to those calls right now, right? And I'm not going to buy up here. Like I said, this was entry for sales here, right? So granted, they already hit the stop loss for it, actually. That was an entry for sales, but I'm not taking the sales. I'm sorry. I'm just not trading sales today. Unless something like drastically happens, I'm not trading the sell. News is at 10 o'clock. So don't forget that. We do have news at 10 o'clock. It's only 9:41. I don't feel bad that I set out the first 11 minutes of the market being open. All I care about is protecting my capital right now. Now I have to feel rushed to try to enter into a trade just because the market is open. It has done nothing but shoot up and then choppy up and down, and that's a little moment. The only thing that would have been all right to take was, like I said, that entry off of here. I would have saw some grain off of that, but I chose not to take that sell entry. Did anybody trade any of that right there? The first 12 minutes of the market being open?
I scalped it a few times.
Where did that put you at for the day?
Actually, I'm recovering because I broke a rule last night, trading last night, and I wasn't supposed to. So I was actually down like 800. Now I'm down to, well, actually, I was down 860, but now I'm down to 530.
How much do you lose a day?
Well, fingers crossed it continues. I haven't had a red day in like the last 9 days. So, but generally I try to not lose more than 500. But last night I was kind of like just trying to trade extra because this is my last day before I request my payout on Apex. So I was trying to just knock it out last night and it was falling kind of hard, but I caught it at the bottom. And I just got, of course, married to it, just hoping that it would come back and then let it go too much negative against me. Averaged in, which I wasn't supposed to. So, like I said, self-sabotage, broke my own rules.
So where you at right now? 500?
530 negative, yeah.
So this might sound crazy, but what if you just take this 530 for the day and you take a red day
I know. And I
and
was
you don't
literally
take
just
another
thinking that
trade again,
myself.
right? Like you just don't trade again today, right? Since you're already at above 500 and you just take the discipline and don't trade again today, right?
Yeah.
Like I get that you're only one day away from payout, right? But if you go into it even more, you won't get payout either way. So, unless like something drastically changes, I'm really bullish, like super, super bullish. And, I would just take it as a loss today, right? Like it's all about capital preservation. If you're
You're
focusing
absolutely right
on
about that.
if you're focusing on trying to get that day payout, then that's going to be your focus instead of how do you protect your capital that you've already accumulated over the last 9 days? Or do you risk giving it all right back because of your emotion because of one trading day?
Yeah. You're right. And I was literally just looking at it myself because, like I said, I was down 8 and I was like, oh, man. But 530 and even with me being negative 530, I can still get my payout and still have enough buffer on there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. The only thing I would trade is probably my evals because I ain't touched that yet. But yeah, I'm probably gonna take your advice and call it a day. I'm gonna take that as a sign because I already questioned it myself. So if you saying it and I already thought it, I'm gonna just go ahead and listen.
If you have an
Appreciate that.
itch, just go to the paper trade,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like,
paper all day.
you know, you don't even got to do the eval on it. Like I would just paper trade it. At least that way you're still trading and you're still treating it like you would be trading a real account. But there's no harm, no foul if you screw up on it because you'll be paper trading it. Where the eval is kind of like, well, it's the same exact thing. You told yourself you wasn't going to trade, but you go to a different account, and it's still kind of like breaking the rule, in my opinion.
I got you. Yeah, I was just saying the eval because, of course, I haven't traded. I haven't got that day in, but like you said, sometimes it's just not worth it. I may even
Yep.
blow the eval as well. So yeah, I got you.
I still have my limit order set, y'all. Right? Like I have not changed that stance. That is still what I'm waiting for, 91.50 with 2 contracts of MNQ, risking only $41 on this first trade of the day. Right? Maybe I hit it before 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll hit it after 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll hit it and hit my stop loss and keep going down. But this is only a $41 trade that I am risking. And I know that if it did hit this and it hit my stop loss, then it'll close lower than this candle. So I'll already know where my entry and my stop loss needs to be for continuation for sales. Now I did hit this. That was an entry right there. And I actually should have didn't move that. That was my fault. That should have been my entry right there. I wasn't paying attention. I'm actually going to move that. That should have been my entry right there. I didn't realize this candle closed. Um, that should have been my entry right there. Yep, that should have been my entry. Do y'all see it? I wasn't paying attention. So maybe price will give it to me again. And that's literally bouncing off of 50% of that fair value gap that we drew earlier. If y'all see that. So because price gave me my entry on the 15-minute and I wasn't paying attention, I am going to take this entry right here. I took that entry. I'm going to move my stop loss to here because I took a 1-minute entry. If y'all see what I just did, I took a 1-minute entry. And that's assuming price was going to close higher. So I took that entry. And I would expect the 1 minute to now. This is me hitting that entry right there. Once again, this is the stop loss. And I'm expecting price to go up. Since we closed in between, since this candle closed in between this 1 hour entry, I'm expecting price to fill this fair value gap now, right? Like this would have been, if we look, this would have been your entry here. And this would have been your stop loss because this candle closed lower at 445. But because this candle closed inside of my entry and my stop loss, I do want to see price go towards that 45.75, which would maybe fill this gap up here with that move. But I took that 1 minute entry. See what happens. I'm going to instead of having those lines there, I'm gonna mark the high and the low. See where this body goes in regards to that. So I marked the last 15-minute candle. Right now, we're still inside of that candle. I'm also marked this fair value gap that's up here. For the last 1, 2, 3 candles, we've made higher lows on each one of those. So my stop loss is the low of this 15-minute candle, by the way. So I entered probably about 50% of that candle. My stop loss is the low there based off that 1 minute. So if I'm looking at this, it's like higher lows and higher highs. I actually don't want to see price action take out the low of this 15-minute candle because it was so strong. News comes out in 8 minutes. News comes out in 8 minutes, and we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles, all with relatively equal highs. And when I see relatively equal highs, I expect them to get broken. And if they get broken, breakout traders will add volume to these calls as we go to that 18 to 83.75 level. That's what I'm thinking, at least. And I won't add to my position unless I get another entry and stop loss to do that. So right now, I don't have a 15-minute entry. I just believe that because I missed this entry, I wasn't going to get it again. So I got my entry off the 1 minute. And as you can see, I've been seeing green a few times, seeing red a little bit. I've seen about $50, $60 already off of my entry that I have chose not to pay myself at. So right now we're in between two fair value gaps on the 15-minute, by the way. You have this fair value gap here. That price is not coming towards, and then we have this one. So I entered in the middle. So it's because I entered in the middle of those two fair value gaps instead of at the bottom where I should have entered, right here if I was paying attention. That's why I'm seeing green and red because I'm in the middle of this, right? I'm literally smack dead in the middle. We got 2 minutes and 12 seconds until news comes out, y'all. Usually when I see price hits the 0.618 or closes above there, expect price to go to that 1.618. It's the same thing for QQQ. So when price hits 18,283.75, QQQ will be around 443, right? You look at the entry that I took off of NQ, that same exact entry gave yourself right here. It would give your entry right there at 439.93, as we talked about earlier. 439.93 would have been your entry to get to that 443 up top. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
So 1 minute, 2 seconds. Like I said, if we get above here right now, I'm telling y'all, breakout is going to push if we do. Like that thing gonna shoot off like a rocket. So I'm in between. It's whichever one of these fair value gaps get filled. That's my opinion. This one get filled, it's shooting off. This one get filled, well, probably wrong on my entry for cost. Well, not that I wasn't wrong. It was just that I didn't want to realize $50. And I know I didn't want to realize that. So there we go, y'all. There we go. So that's $200 right there. Just that quick. And we are above here. So I'm expecting the breakouts now to start adding that volume as we go towards my 283.75 level. I think I'm going to add 2 more contracts. So I added 2 more contracts. That's me assuming price is going to close higher than this candle. My stop loss obviously is at the right spot anyway. This will be my stop loss if my entry was here. I'm trying to play to that 283.75 level. Once a week, we get like a trending day where price just like goes one way. We really haven't had that this week. So I was thinking Friday was either going to be a big green day or a big red day. But I was leaning towards green. Still hasn't done it yet. It's been very choppy all week long. But like I said, once a week we do get like a really nice trending day. So I closed my position and took a $71 loss. It did not hit my stop loss. But I had averaged in and I wanted price to continue to keep pushing up. But we had, I don't know, it hit about 78 and came $50 straight down. I was just like, nah, not getting me. So I'll relook to get into another position, but I wasn't letting it come all the way down to my stop loss. It wasn't doing what I thought it was going to do. And I saw like $200 green on that trade. And I was just like, I don't need to see 200 red. So I'm trying it again because it then goes down as low as I thought it was going to go to. But I got my entry right there, stop loss right there again. But that wick right there made me think that it was going to go down a little bit lower. I didn't want it to go down lower, so I got out. look at QQQ right now. QQQ is at 441.72. I at least expected today QQQ to hit 443.22. So we're at 441.74. I was very much bullish. I gave these levels out yesterday. Charles, you online right here?
Yeah, so you're saying don't buy QQQ until it comes down, or is this a good thing?
Well, I mean, the entry already came. The entry was at 439.75.
That was yesterday, right?
No, yesterday was 437. So
Oh,
yesterday's
I
entry was
missed that
437.
today. I
Yep.
didn't know.
Today, yep. Today entry came on the 15-minute, right? It came on the 15-minute right here. Price hit 439.93, right?
Wow.
If you're marking your highs and lows of your candles, that was your entry for calls.
I should have set
Right?
a order. I didn't do that.
Yep. So now what you have here now, right? Now you have this entry that I just took just now, 440.86. Right? 440.86 was the same entry that you just saw me take on MNQ. Right?
Yeah.
If you're marking the highs and lows of these candles, you cannot miss y'all entries, y'all. Right? And so we're going to 443, right? And then after 443, we may hit 448.29. Right? It is very possible today we might hit 448.29. But we're at least going to hit 443.22. If I go back to MNQ, yes, I took a $71 loss because I did not want to risk taking that money. I'm back up green for the day, $150, right? As we head towards my 18,283.75. Roy, did I get those levels out yesterday? Doing market recap?
Yes, sir.
And so this right here, that wick freaked me out. I don't know why it freaked me out, but it did. And so I got out of my trade, even though I added to my position because I didn't have diamond hands, but I got right back in, right? And had the entry here, realized it wasn't going to come here. I was like, okay, the next entry is 50% of this fair value gap. And that's what I used to get my entry. 50% of this fair value gap. And I'm expecting price not to hit this. So how do I pay myself in this instance as it's going up, right? Well, this candle closes in 3 minutes and 40 seconds, right? There will be a gap, right? There will be a gap between where this candle closes and where the high of this candle is, right? So what should you be doing? Marking this position right there, just like that. You should mark the 15-minute 9:45 candle, high and low, the high and low, mark it. Because when this candle closes in 3 minutes, right, price should trade back down. It doesn't have to, right? I think the volume might stop it from coming all the way down, but it should come from where this candle closes back to here and then go back up. So I have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to try to grab as much possible gains as possible, right? Before I exit this position and then try to re-enter. And I saw about 150. I'm out 130 right now, right? Still got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to try to grab as much as possible. And what am I going to do? I'm going to just lock in 100. So lock in 115. That puts me about $30 for the day because I took that $71 loss. So I locked in 115. And as many times as I've seen $100 on MNQ today, right? I've probably seen $100, probably, or at least $50 to $100 several times today. And it's gone back to red, and $50 to $100 several times a day. If your goal was to make $200 to $500 a day, it is very doable for trading 2 contracts of MNQ. And you don't even have to sit in front of the screen all day. So I haven't made it yet. Only made about $30, but that's because I just wasn't paying myself. That's the part that comes into play. It's like paying yourself. So this candle closes in 45 seconds. I've already marked the high and the low. So I am going to put in my limit order now at 18,139.25. And I'm going to put in my stop loss so I can see how much I'm going to lose at 18,095. So I'm already doing my limit order. This is a big part of your thing when you're marking your levels. You're knowing what you're going to be doing, right? So I'll be risking $176 on this, right? Now, does that mean price is going to come all the way down here? It don't have to. If it does, it does. But I'm not trying to play the sell down. All right. Now we do have a fair value gap, like I said, was going to be there. Right? We kind of see where that is right now. If this is the low of this candle, that would be the fair value gap, right? And because fair value gaps are abnormal, sometimes I like to think that price is going to come all the way down to my entry. I just don't want to play the sell down because it's such a strong move up. And that's why I don't want to play the sell down because of that, right? Me assuming I know it's going to come down here instead of just waiting to see if it's going to come down there, it's the difference. How's everybody else looking today? I got 11 people on here. Is anyone taking any of these trades with me?
I had a limit on the 5 minute for a call, but I forgot to update the. I forgot to actually click modify, so I just watched it go up.
So you haven't taken a trade yet? You're in QQQ, Marcy?
No, I got out of it.
Oh yeah. How did you do on that one?
I got, it must have been about 35%.
Okay.
I made a nice profit. No, it must maybe 40% because I ended up buying 2 contracts when it pulled back.
Nice.
So I had 2 total. Did I miss my entry for the next already? Oh no.
You have your entry already?
No, I got a phone call over here at the group home, so that disrupted me. disrupted
Okay,
my trading.
so Marcy made money. What about you, Danielle? You take any of these trades? Sonny? Dion?
Yeah, I took the call on MNQ.
How did you doing it?
Pretty good. I think I made like $80.
Nice. Michelle, how you do today? Or so far?
I took a call on QQQ and I went up 56%.
Nice. Did you pay yourself or you still in it?
I paid myself.
Nice, nice. Now on that call, did you make at least 100?
Yes.
Nice. I only ask that because that's what I charge on the daggone. That's how much I charge monthly. So if I can get, if y'all can come to this floor and y'all can make at least $100 a day, right, with day trading with me, then that's 500 a week, and you're spending $100. Okay, Daniel, no worries. Oh, well, I have drill and I really need to start packing because I got to catch a flight in a little bit. And I just realized what time it was. It's 9:20. So I will be right back. I have my limit order set. I have my stop loss set. If it hits it, I got some time, but I need to like pack up some things. So I'm going to be mute for a little bit. All right, how it's looking? Ain't really did much yet. So the same level is everybody for those who's trading options. What does 18139.25 correlate for QQQ? What's the high of the 945 candle?
Hey, you can floss your teeth.
What you said? What is it?
Oops.
Let's see. It's 440.86.
Hey, TJ.
Yep.
I was looking at that long green candle, right? We close above it and then we close inside of the if you were to take a buy, I think it's gonna come down to the bottom of that green candle for the
That makes
entry.
sense. I see what you're talking about off the 5 minute.
Yeah.
I see that. So if it was to do that, then the entry to get to the bottom of that green candle, Dion, be at 18,169.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what is if it does close above that or if it continues to close below.
Yep. So I ended up paying myself because of your statement that you showed, right? I paid myself at that 18,169 because technically that's a entry for sales for continuation. And I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this sale. So I tried that sale, and I'm gonna put the stop loss at 18,188.75. But I tried that sale because you pointed out something I wasn't paying attention to. And that's all just stating that you saw that this candle closed lower, so you're expecting for a price to hit 26.25. And since this is a continuation entry off the 5 minute for sales, I tried it. That makes sense, Dion?
Yeah, I took it too. See what this next 5 minute does.
As long as we don't close above my entry, I'm gonna stay in the sell. If it closes above Dion, then I'm gonna reverse it into a call because we're right there at the.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm gonna
Close
reverse
above.
this. I'll reverse that. And then my stop loss for that is 152.75. And I want to see price hit 88.75 because that like they did like a owner reverse card on it. You see how quick that was?
Yeah. You need contracts though.
Huh?
So you got 8 contracts.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that one. That was my fault.
It's working up.
Yeah, it is.
You can add another 4.
Yeah, on accident. I hit buy twice.
No, you have a buy stop right now. Instead of a sell.
Oh shit. Oh, hold on. Hey, I'm over here hitting the wrong button. Appreciate that. You know, bad. I'm out of that. I'm over here hitting the daggone wrong buttons. All right, so I'm sitting at 360 for the day. $360.80. Trading MNQ. How did that call do for you just now, Dion?
I traded 3 contracts. I took like $100.
Nice. So you're sitting at over $200 still for the day then?
Yeah. Not a bad day.
No, not bad at all. It look like a bull flag though. So you know what I need to do? Bingo. You see that? Got my levels drawn for the previous candle. And it did hit, or it came close to it. I'm gonna try it again. At 168.75. Well, it depends. I'm trying the 5 minute again. Try that one. Try that one. And then my stop loss is going to be, that's assuming that this candle is going to close higher. I'm getting a little impatient right now. And then put in my stop loss. This will probably be my last trade. This will be my last trade right here. Where am I trying to play to? Let me draw my trend base fib extension. Kind of rejecting that 1.618 right now. But if I had my thing of where I wanted to get to, I'm trying to get to that 2.618. 193.25. Five-minute gave us another continuation. I'm setting at 450 for the day right now. If I lock in this $90. Which ain't a bad trading day at all. Charles, do you see this for the futures? I'm about to be out of there, y'all. I'm about to take this and walk away. 500 for the day.
Yeah, I see.
You see that? You see that? 2 hours of work, 500 already.
Yeah, it's a good day.
It's a real good day. But that's just trading with MNQ, not trading a lot. It's about to hit my take profit, y'all. I'm at 530 for the day now. There we go. Bingo. I'm out of there. 585.56. That's where I'm sitting at. 585.56. $585.56, and I did not touch NQ whatsoever.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. This what I'm gonna do every single day. I don't even need to touch NQ, y'all. I'm telling y'all. MNQ pays. All right, that's gonna be it for me because I gotta get ready. I'm actually about to fly back to DC, Charles.
Oh, where are you now?